The Big Issue. Breaking down the issues that matter.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Leadership Podcast. We are into the big issue, and of course, the big issue of the day is the delay by federal government to declare bandits as terrorists. And of course, with me here in the studio to take on the big issue, our in-house analyst, Kunle Olasami.
My pleasure.
And David Taka.
Good to be here again.
I am your regular host. George Jagba is my name. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice yesterday gave reasons for not declaring bandits terrorizing the Northwest and the North Central as bandits. The Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami San, said the reason why the bandits have not been declared terrorists is because the federal government was yet to gazette the court order issued last year declaring the criminals as bandits. But of course, the reasons adduced why the AGF did not go down well with socio-cultural groups like Afenifere, Ohanese, and the Middle Belt Forum. They said the delay in gazetting the court order declaring bandits terrorists is as a result of the fact that the federal government lacks the willpower to end banditry in the country. They said if the federal government was serious, it would have done so earlier enough, because that would help go a long way to contain the activities of the bandits in the Northwest and North Central, especially with the weapons and arms acquired by the military, like the Super Tucano jet, which the United States said should not be used in the Northwest and the North Central for human rights reasons. Well, David Taka, why is it, you remember the Senate, most Nigerians have been insisting, asking the federal government to declare bandits terrorists. And at the end of the day, the federal government, even in trying to do so, is going at a snail pace. Why do you think is the cause of this delay?
Well, you've said it. Most of the socio-cultural groups have said it's lack of willpower. And I agree with that totally. If the government actually wants to really go after those guys, that was 2017 or so. It took them, I think it was overnight that the court, the moment the court declared IPOB terrorists, it was gazetted immediately. Why is it taking so long? I think the government has a lot to tell Nigerians. As for me, I feel they have their reasons. I don't know what they know with the bandits. People have said a lot of things associated with bandits, and we've not seen the state apparatus going after them. So there's more to this than meets the eye for me. Like every other person, I'm also surprised. I don't know why we are having that kind of I can say we are romancing with them. We don't want to really go after them the way they should, because they've destabilized this country. They've shut down a lot of, so many communities have been ransacked. They've gained a lot of money illegally, and the government doesn't seem bothered. They don't feel perturbed at all. So it worries everybody like me.
And the rate at which the killing are taking place in the country is very, very alarming.
It has become a norm.
Because every day you wake up, look at
You must get figures.
Let me give you one
Always-
example. Let me give you one example. There was a time during the heat. I think it was during Jonathan's period. I can't remember very vividly. During the heat of Boko Haram, when it was very serious, a message came into my phone. I picked the phone. I saw bomb blast in Maiduguri. So number of people killed. The next thing I did was to just look at the headline, and I dropped my phone. I did that unconsciously, that it is becoming a normal thing. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Like it is becoming, after all, it has always been happening.
It's a recurrent decimal.
Yes. So and it is dangerous. It is very dangerous. It is very dangerous thing. I think on the failure on the part of the government to declare the bandits as terrorists, just like David Taka said, I think the government has more to tell Nigerians on this. And for me, the manner with which IPO was declared a terrorist organization immediately after Justice Kafarati, is it late now, gave that order, was alarming. It was with speed of light that they just
not just IPO, the Islamic movement of Nigeria, the Shiites.
Yes, yes. But another angle to it is that where I'm looking at this is that if government is not interested in declaring the bandits as terrorists, why go obtain the court order in the first place? They should just have left them. And another angle I look at it again is that I'm looking at it that probably the government does not want the administration to be dented, because in the space of how many years you have had about 3. If these bandits are declared terrorists, then in this government alone you have 3 organizations that have been declared terrorists. You have just like you said, Islamic movement, and then these bandits. I think the Boko Haram.
What happened to the Yoruba Nation movement?
I don't think they've been declared. They have not been declared. No, they have not been declared. But you remember the last time the Attorney General addressed the press conference, he linked them. He linked this Yoruba agitation to Boko Haram. That is part of Boko Haram. So the point I'm trying to make here is that if the government is not interested in declaring them terrorists, why go for the order in the first place? Because I don't see anything difficult. You have them. Anyway, Malami said the most important thing is the judicial pronouncement. That was what he said yesterday. He said the most important thing is the judicial pronouncement, that the gazetting it is not a big deal.
That was what he said. Very important for the military, because there are rules of engagement that guide.
Yes.
They have rules, international.
But that was what he said.
Govern armed conflict. They can't go against those things. There were conditions attached to those aircraft. Those aircraft were not manufactured in Nigeria.
Yes.
For a start, we don't have the parts. By the time you go against those conditions, of course, servicing them will become a problem.
Yes, you're right.
You won't be able to use them. They will be grounded.
Yes.
So you need to do the proper thing, so that when the US asks you, you can present to them, this is why we're using this. Like when I spoke with the Air Force spokesman yesterday, he told me categorically, he said the minister has said it, that on the part of the political class. He does not have much to say, but the only thing he can tell me is the aircraft is already operating, but only in the northeast.
Okay.
No, any other.
We have even seen the
northwest.
We have even seen the results.
If gazetted and they have the order,
they can take it to the
northwest. They can take it to the northwest. Remember, these guys have shot down an aircraft.
Yes.
So if they have the ability to bring down
some of these jets, I may be wrong, but it's my personal view, that some of these aircraft that you hear in the northeast before now, that you hear in the north, that they will say crash landed, some of those jets is the Boko Haram that brought them down. That is the true body, but of course they will not come out to tell us.
At a point, Boko Haram, I think 2019, 2020, they were, we hear that they've been decimated in the northeast. So they started spreading. Some of them moved down. We had reports of such. And Major General Nenche retired. When he was the defense
spokesperson,
the director, defense media, he kept saying it. Those guys are spreading, but they have their way of curtailing them to make sure they don't spread. But as it is now, I think it's the ones that have left the northeast that have come to the northwest to recruit more foot soldiers and then trying to gain more resources. Maybe that's what we're having now.
Before you come again, Kunle, let's just quickly take a short break. And of course, as we do so, we expect that our viewers who send in their comment, at least to help in shaping the conversation on the big issue. Don't go offline. We'll be back in a short while.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
The Big Issue. Breaking down the issues that matter.
You're welcome back. We are still on the big issue in leadership podcast. And of course, the big issue of the day is the delay by the federal government to declare bandits as terrorist group. And as we were talking, the Attorney General of the Federation, I remember this while explaining reasons why the bandits have not been declared terrorists because they have not been gathered. He said that the United States has even given approval for the use of the Super Tucano jets in the Northwest and other places. It hitherto said they should not be used. You understand? But at the end of the day, if the US government has done so, that means the gazetting wouldn't have been necessary. But why would the federal government do so why would the US give such go ahead when the declaration of bandits as terrorist group has not been gazetted?
He said
The Nigerians are saying that it's like there's something fishy the government decided.
Well, I don't know. I'm not aware and I'm not part of the meeting. But one thing I can say, or one thing I sense, or one thing I think is that probably because the bandits have done more harm than good in the Northwest. Yes, they've done so much harm. Yeah, let me just put it that way. They've done so much harm in the Northeast, not in the Northwest. Look at in Zamfara, for example, and I think in one other state in the Northwest.
You can't even travel by road.
Telecommunication was shut down.
Katsina, Zamfara, Kaduna.
Yes, in some part of Kaduna too, yes. Telecommunication was shut down. So that's to tell you how serious the situation in that part of the country is. And I don't know why. Is it just to shut the amount of Nigerians that they went for that order? Because I don't know if court has said declare, and like I said the other time, it could be that maybe they don't want to give the administration a bad name because people have been saying that there is insecurity everywhere.
But whether you don't want to give the administration a bad name, it has gotten a bad name by its inability to protect Nigerians.
No,
people feel
no.
Why should we have a government?
What I'm even saying is that, like I said the other time, I said in less than 6 years, it's not up to 6 years now. You have had if these bandits are declared terrorist organizations now. You have 3 organizations under this administration. I think under Jonathan we have only one. That's Boko Haram. We have only one. So I think, I don't know, but I think they are just trying to guide against something. That's my view about it.
Well, but now you see, most Nigerians, they feel that the delay in gazetting terrorists as bandits is as a result of the nepotistic nature of the Buhari government. Because the thinking is that with the speed at which the government used in declaring IPOB bandit
IMN.
and IMM, it was too prompt, like with the speed of lightning. Then when it comes to bandit, they have been delaying. And then the feeling is that bandits have been treated with kid gloves. Because if not, with the kind of atrocities they commit in the Northwest and North Central, it's no different from what the Boko Haram and the
It's even worse. It's worse than what IPOB has been doing. That is the truth. What the bandits are doing.
IPOB activity became violent when the crocodile and whatever.
Yes.
Crocodile went to
initially it wasn't.
In the south.
Initially it wasn't.
It was mere agitation.
It was mere agitation. And I feel government should call them to talk to them. Or tell their leaders to talk to them. I'm talking about IPOB now. And for these bandits in the Northwest, I feel it's my thinking. I don't know. I feel probably government is trying to seek audience with them or get the socio-cultural organization in that area to talk to them. Probably that's why they are yet to gazette it.
Well,
Probably.
When you say you think that the government
banditry.
Before you go, I think what Kunde says that the government might be having nothing plans to negotiate or discuss with them. It's not that because no, for me it's right because it's
you cannot negotiate with terrorists. You can still negotiate with bandits.
Kunde, wait now. You see, you are right because ordinarily I'm suspecting that most Nigerians say for true, it's not their thinking that the government may have been paying heed to the warnings of Islamic cleric Shegumi. Shegumi had been warning against declaring these bandits terrorists. And of course, from the way government is going about it, it's like they know something about these bandits, which we Nigerians say they are sure even Shegumi knows. That is why Gumi had been on the forefront. And you see the nepotistic nature, the way they allege of Buhari government is that if IPOB and IMM were treated the way they were treated, and then somebody like Gumi had been talking as if in short, most Nigerians believe that
it's part of them.
And then they have not even called him for questioning. Then something is wrong.
Well, I think it's an opportunity, the way the closeness of Gumi to those guys. I think government should also try to call him and see how he can broker peace between the government and the bandits to sheath their sword. So for me, I think maybe government have not done enough because those guys, like somebody will say, I don't know how to put it in English. It's a Yoruba adage that somebody cannot build but can destroy. That is the proverb I can use for those guys. They cannot build but they can destroy. So in such cases, if you have such people around, if you cannot crush them, then you can't, like I said, you cannot negotiate with terrorists. That is international standard. But for bandits, you may still be able to negotiate with them.
Well, I think there's another thing in there. Most Nigerians are even thinking that all these moves are related. It's probably a military would have secretly started using these super tucano jets.
No, they cannot do that. If they do that, the US will know.
See what happened
the US will know.
In the past weeks, see Zamfara. If you see the way the military airstrikes bombarded the place, killing 2 bandits leaders, and at the end of the day, one of the bandit leaders, Tuji, is it Tuji, has come out. He's writing to the Zamfara state government seeking for amnesty. And it was him who quickly released about 50 something victims, abductees recently, So because of that, most Nigerians are even thinking that those super tucano jets have been deployed to those places.
I don't think super tucanos have been deployed to
that area,
Northwest. But mind you, the Alpha jets can also do a lot. We have Alpha jets who are based in Makurdi. That's their own base. And of course, you have a lot of helicopter jets, like helicopter fighter gunships that are also supporting from the air. If the military actually, for him to hold 50 people in the bush, I feel the military most times is afraid of collateral damage.
Yeah.
What will happen if we engage?
We engage.
Brute force
Some of
to
the
rescue
victims
those
will
people?
die.
Now,
Because it will be easier for you to just drop a bomb, and when you know where these people are
Now,
gathering, you finish them off.
dropping a bomb, there are rules that also prohibit them from using certain bombs. You know, just like you're not, there are laws that say you cannot use landmines. You want to, so there are also rules that also prohibit them from using. They can use rockets, but you cannot drop bomb on those guys.
Right. You see?
Of course.
When the criminals themselves
it's because of the collateral
then they
damage.
don't have
No,
rules.
it may
They
affect,
destroy
it
you.
may affect
Wait,
those
you have-
that have been kidnapped.
Now, wait, we have people. You could be a hunter in the bush. The military may not be
You
aware
will be a
that you're in
farmer.
that bush. You may be a farmer. Operating there. And once there's an airstrike, you see people start coming out. They've killed an innocent person here. Erroneously. So all these things they try to avoid. That's why they seek precision. This is our target. We've identified. We'll go for it. But it's very difficult in this kind of situation. Those guys are operating in the bushes, the forest. Are you going to bring down the forest?
This
because
could
you
be
want
the
to go
reason why
after?
they even keep those they have adopted.
So the
because
best
they
thing
also use them
as
as
shield,
shield.
yes.
So the best thing is to have special forces
Mm.
who will come down. You have your helicopter gunship, and with all your tactical skills, you enter, then selectively pick. And that is where the issue of using UAVs, UAVs come in. The UAVs are not prohibited, and they are going to be, I think, about cheap. All these unmanned area vehicles they have that can actually go out and carry out some airstrikes. But it still boils down to what is my visibility? Will I be able to identify from the control room? As we are here, the commanders may be here, they have operation rooms. The man is here, he's seeing what is happening in the bush, but he may not be able to tell who is on ground. Yeah. You have your troops
It
on
may be
ground.
an innocent person.
Yeah, innocent person, of course.
And then that's a collateral damage. And then they also have satellite images. The international community, they also have satellite images. Like you're watching here, they
are watching.
They are advanced.
They may be watching.
They are even seeing everything we're doing. So when the case comes up against the military, of course, it's going to be difficult to defend if you have that kind of issue
Situation.
So they try to avoid most of these things, but at the end
Well,
of it all, it's not enough
If I may ask
for a common man.
If I may ask, could it be that what you have just said now, that in trying to protect innocent persons, could it be that is one of the reasons?
It takes them long
Yes.
to rescue.
Yes. Could it be that? Could it be part of the reason?
It's part of the reason, because at the end of the day, naturally, the form of attack is such that that's why you see they say
even when you attack, they will use the innocent the civilians as body shield.
Yes.
So even when you want to fire, you may end up killing, and the moment you kill, they will be the ones to tell the world that you killed innocent. It wasn't us. So that's another challenge.
Naturally, I would have thought that some of these laws,
but at the end,
the use of weapons and should be reviewed, because at the end of the day, if you do that and then give the terrorists
Well, there's no way they can review the law.
The laws are not there to protect. The laws are not protecting the criminals. The laws are protecting
innocent persons. Yes, that's why I said there's no way they can review the law.
If you want to review, you're giving the criminals an edge.
Yeah.
So you actually need the people. That's why you see even the right bodies keep agitating.
Yes.
Innocent persons have been killed here, because sometimes even the government, may make a
and they can even sue them.
Yeah, they are sued all the time. They have cases in court every
But
every now and then.
The right bodies who are actually doing this, why do they always wait until when there's a mistake then they come? Don't they see how the country is on fire? People are being killed every day. You hear 70 killed in Kaduna.
Because those other persons don't have a body they can talk to. Who is the face of Boko Haram? Who is the face of Bandits that they can interface? But if you have, they know IPOB. They can take IPOB off because it's organized. But banditry, who will you face?
Yes, you're right.
It's not centralized. You have warlords taking over power. So everybody has his own territory.
Has his own.
So it is the locals that knows who and who is in charge. So if the locals work with our security, which is one area we need to work on, do we even trust our security personnel?
There are situations where security personnel have been arrested.
Of course, for aiding and
conniving with terrorists.
There are the bandits with weapons
and information. And information is even key.
So it's quite the lack of confidence, the lack of trust between the civilian and the populace, the locals, and the security forces is another big issue on the phone. Most times, I remember 2014 thereabout when it was high in my village. Most times when the military will tell them don't go, they won't stay. They will tell you they will not protect us.
Well, that is the much we can take for today's edition of The Big Issue. Thank you for keeping tab with us. And of course, the war against terror is ongoing. And of course, the good thing is that the Attorney General of the Federation has said in a few days the declaration of bandits as terrorists by a court of law will be gazetted. And of course, the Super Tucano jets will be deployed to the northwest and north central. And of course, we will begin to hope that the end of banditry is actually near. Thank you for keeping tab with us, and of course, our in-house analysts for doing a very good job on addressing the big issue. Join us same time tomorrow for another edition of this program. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.